Hi guys, welcome back. This is Erin from Painting Those Piggies, and today I have another round of weekly manis. Millie just left the room. She was actually looking out the window, so she has not decided to grace us with her presence today. Maybe later, but today we have a theme week, so if you watched weekly manis from last week, you'll know that this week was entirely a week of my husband picks my nail polishes. My husband's name is Dave, so that is who I am referring to the entire video. So let's get right into it. I thought it was going to be a fun idea. It was. I did this for Valentine's Day because I don't really like Valentine's Day, so I thought it would be cute, fun, etc. if he picked all my manicures. Let me just say I'm really itching to wear a pink nail polish because obviously he did not pick any pinks for this week. So let's get right into it and see what he picked. Okay, so weekly manis is going to go from Saturday through Friday, which is today. So for Saturday, he picked OPI's A Woman's Prague-ative, which I think is funny for the name, but I did ask him why he picked each color each day, and he did take his time. He didn't just like go randomly grab things. He did like know that I was going to ask him what he was going to pick. So he picked this one, which is like a very yellowy copper shimmer polish. And when he picked this one, I had mentioned that he was going to pick colors. Well, I kind of told you I thought he was going to pick colors that were like a fox orange, olive green. He really likes red nail polishes, and there were a couple of polishes that he kind of gravitates towards when he looks at the wall racks, which were OPI's Last Friday Night, Susie the First Lady of Nails, and OPI's I Have a Herring Problem. He always gravitates towards those three polishes. So those were my predictions. So I thought this was going to be his pick for a fox orange, but he says he really loves copper, the color copper, and this was to represent the Olympic medals, which we've been obsessed with watching the Olympics this week, so that was why he ended up picking this polish. I hadn't worn this polish in a really long time, so I appreciated that he did pick this polish. It did take 3 coats to build up, which was slightly annoying, but I ultimately really liked the color and was happy that he picked this. So I was happy. I thought this was the fox colored pick, but it turned out it was not. But that was his Saturday pick, which was OPI's A Woman's Prague-ative. Okay, next up was Sunday's pick, and he picked 2 Zoya polishes. I did not realize that he was going to incorporate wanting nail art in this, but he picked these 2 polishes and said, I want nail art, and I was like, oh, that's very specific. So Sunday we actually watched Thor Ragnarok, which is a movie that we both like, although I'm not really into the Avengers franchise, but he is dragging me to watch Black Panther on Sunday, which I don't know how I feel, but sometimes they surprise me. Like, I really like Ant-Man for some reason, but we were gonna watch this at home, and so he picked these 2 polishes, which are both Zoya's, which means he actually did have to dig through my Alex 9 drawers to find these polishes, which I find interesting. But he picked Zoya's Olivera, which is a polish I had not worn, which I figured out is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's stunning in the bottle, but on the nails it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'll insert a picture of that on its own. And then he picked this color, which is Zoya's Talia, because it reminded him of the movie posters, and I'll insert a picture, which was his reference picture for the nail art. So I ended up putting these 2 together in just like an easy accent nail. I actually had light blue studs and threw those on there, and he ended up liking what I put together. So that was my manicure for Sunday when we watched the movie, and so he picked those 2 colors for Sunday. Next up was Monday's manicure, which actually ended up being the fox color, and so I thought it was either going to be this color or Essie's the name is escaping me. Essie's, I can't remember what the color is, but it's the one that looks like pumpkin pie. He picked this one, which is OPI's. It's a Piazza cake, which is exactly a fox orange. He has a thing for foxes. They're all over the house, decorating the house. And so we have like an odd mix of things that are dessert themed, which is what I like, and fox themed. It doesn't go together, but that's what we both like. Oh, and Disney themed. So if you can imagine like a house decorated like that, that's what our house looks like. So this was his pick. I think this was Monday's polish. So he ended up picking this. It's a gorgeous color. I consider it a fall color, but I knew he was going to pick something like this. And so I wore it. It was stunning as always. I really enjoy this color from the Venice collection. So that is what I wore on Monday. OPI's, it's a Piazza cake. Next up for Tuesday, he actually surprised me with this, and the truth came out later, which was what actually happened. He picked this for Tuesday, which was Zoya Shawn. I accidentally said this was Zoya Sawyer. I had a bad migraine that day, so I mixed up the names and confused a lot of people, but I corrected myself later. But he could not find OPI's Susie, the First Lady of Nails, which was what I predicted he would pick, but he couldn't find it on the wall shelf, which is the one he wanted. I later found out yesterday when I asked him about it, because he picked his last polish last night for today, and I said, I'm going to tell you the ones I thought you were going to pick, and then all the truth came out, which I'll explain later, but that's the one he was going for, but he couldn't find it. That's how men can't find things, like, go find this. I can't find it. It was right in front of his face, of course, but he went with this one instead, which is the same olive green pretty much. So this was Zoya Shawn. It's got a beautiful formula, 2 easy coats, so no complaints here. It was a beautiful color. Again, another fall color, which are colors that he really prefers. He just dresses in all fall colors all the time, so of course those are the colors he picked. So that was Tuesday's manicure, Zoya Shawn. Next up was Wednesday's manicure, and I knew he was going to pick red because obviously it was Valentine's Day. He loves red nails. One of you actually said, I'm surprised he didn't pick a red every single day, which I probably would have killed him if if we would have done that, because that would have been so much red. But honestly, he's a guy, so most reds probably look the same to him. He couldn't be like, that one has shimmer, that one has frost to it. I mean, probably couldn't tell the difference between them. So he just picked one red for the week, and this one he picked for the Disney reference because I talk about it all the time, so he knows of this polish. This one is OPI's To the Mouse House We Go, and I was getting I wanted to do something, you know, Valentine's-y, so I decided to do a smoosh mani, which is where you smush a bunch of polishes on your nails, and the end result kind of looked like a galaxy mani, kind of looked like a swoosh mani, and so it ended up looking like a red galaxy because I put some glitter in there. I liked the end result. I probably would not do a red smoosh mani again because it was so hard to clean up, but I liked it. It wasn't my favorite manicure I've ever done, but it was good to incorporate red, and I used a lot of project polishes in it, so that is what I ended up wearing on Valentine's Day, incorporating his red pick, and that is OPI's To the Mouse House We Go. Thursday's manicure, which was yesterday, ended up being really funny. We talked about this polish quite in depth because this is a very polarizing polish. This is OPI's Pineapples Have Peelings Too. To be honest, it looks kind of cool in the bottle. Here's what it looks like. The glitters really stand out, like you can see the glitters. And I had never worn this polish. It was from the Hawaii collection, and he really likes the look of this polish, and so outdid my mom because you can see the glitters. She thought it looked like a party in a bottle. He liked the look of the glitters, and I was like, I'm telling you, it looks really, really ugly. No offense to anyone who actually likes this polish. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's not going to look like the bottle. It's not going to look like that. And he's like, it's going to be amazing. And when I put it on, obviously the glitters get covered by that frosty, very warm gold polish, and it was just kind of a mess. Could have used 4 or 5 coats because the gold is very sheer. I had a hard time digging the glitters out of the bottle. Even I would like close the bottle, shake it, get the glitters mixed up. It was still hard to dig out the glitters. It was just a mess to apply, a mess to wear. I had to wear it all day then on Thursday, and I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. And then he changed his mind. He's like, that looks chunky, I don't like it. And I'm like, you picked it, so now I have to wear it. And so I even asked my mom, like, did you change your mind about liking this polish? And you can see on Instagram, she's like, yes, I have changed my mind. So this ended up being a fail polish. I will keep it just for the sake of having it, but it was definitely not my favorite. So that was, again, OPI's Pineapples Have Peelings too. Last up for the week is one I really, really enjoyed. I don't know if I've worn this polish before, but it is from the Katy Perry collection. I admittedly do not like Katy Perry, but the pink from that collection, Teenage Dream, is always on my wish list. I wish I could find a bottle of it, but this one is very beautiful. I predicted he would pick this polish because he always picks it off the wall shelf and looks at it. This is OPI's Last Friday Night. It is a gorgeous polish. It's got a blue base to it, but it's got a ton of iridescent glitters. It reminds me of Ciate's Party Shoes, which showed up in my favorite glitters. And I paired it over Essie's Under the Twilight, which is that like dark blueberry blue that was in my project polish. I stinking love the way it turned out. Here is what it looks on my nails right now, and it's just like iridescent, like goodness. It just looks so good. It was one of my favorites this week. I really, really loved it. So I was glad he picked this. I told him after he picked his last polish what I predicted that he would pick because I edited that part of Weekly Manis while he was out of the room, so I knew he wouldn't hear it. And I told him I was surprised you didn't pick the olive green and herring problem, and he said I was gonna pick herring problem instead of this one, and I couldn't find Susie the First Lady of Nails. And that really doesn't surprise me because he has a hard time finding things, and didn't realize he looked at those polishes all the time until last night. So he went the whole week without realizing that he usually picks those polishes, but he did manage to pick this one. So I feel like I did really good with his predictions. He said he went through all the Helmer drawers and the Alex 9 drawers to look at polishes, and he picked mostly OPI, so I thought that was pretty funny. He has an OPI preference with a slight Zoya preference, and so I thought that was pretty funny, but I thought he was a really good sport for doing this. He never complained about it or said he didn't want to do it, so you guys seem to really like it this week, and so I thought that was really fun. And so now I am very much itching to put on a pink polish. As always, if you want to let me know what you wore this week, please leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys as always for watching and commenting, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.